morning. This is Keith King with the King and Mack Sports Show. I want to welcome everybody in to our first podcast, episode 1. I'm going to introduce my co-host who is here with me to do this show. Very good guy. I'm going to turn it over to you and let you introduce yourself to this audience, and let's get going with this sports talk.
Absolutely. Good morning, world. This is Anthony Stafford McDonald, Mack, the greatest Steelers fan that was ever invented, and I'm just glad to be here. Look forward to having a great show with you all today.
We're just going to get right into it. There's some current events that's happening out here. I want to give you a little backdrop, though, on the show. We are broadcasting live from Southfield, Michigan, which is a suburb of Detroit. So we are representing Detroit, Michigan, and the whole metropolitan area. But we're going to talk about things locally, nationally, and even internationally. So just want to bring a lot of different things to the air as it pertains to sports and entertainment. First thing that we're going to do today is talk to some of the current events that's going on. One of the things that's been in the news a lot is Aaron Rodgers and his not taking the vaccination, people thinking that he had took the vaccination. Right now he has COVID-19 and he's out this week and not playing. And people want to know what happened, what's going on. Did he lie to the team, or what was the ramifications of what he did? He talked a little bit about it, saying it was he did some things. Well, no, let me say this. He was allergic to some of the things that was in the Pfizer vaccination, so that's why he didn't take it. But he did some other things holistically to build up his immune system, and he felt that was good enough to hold off the COVID-19. So, Mac, I'm just wanting to get your opinion of what's going on with this Aaron Rodgers situation.
Well, first and foremost, I hope he gets better as soon as possible, get back in the game, but let's just call it what it is. Unfortunately, he did not tell the truth. You're either vaccinated or not vaccinated. You can't be a little pregnant. So with that being said, my concern is for the whole Packers organization and to some degree to the whole NFL, because you don't know who he was around, you don't know when he got it. But the truth of the matter is, like I said, first and foremost, is he did not tell the truth, and I'm hoping that there's some penalties involved, not just for him, but for other players that don't completely tell the whole story about as it relates to their status. Now, if you choose not to take the shot, that's your business, but you can't be around a world stage and mislead people. That's just wrong, especially with something that could have a life or death consequence to it.
No, definitely. I mean, I think it's important that that we be truthful in what we do. He had the opportunity to to let the NFL know, let the team know exactly where he was. I think a suspension is imminent as they look into this, because they don't want the precedent to be set. We got the other realm of the spectrum where Kyrie Irving did not take the vaccination, let him know that he was not taking the vaccination, and then he was suspended from the team. And it was his choice. I mean, he has millions of reasons to play, but he choosing his health over the money. So what do you think about Kyrie and that particular situation as it pertains to COVID-19?
You got to respect Kyrie for telling you, first and foremost, he is against the shot and he's not taking it. And interestingly enough, he's in a state, in an area in the New York area where they're not going to allow you to participate. He tried to compromise and say he'd play in away games. Similar to Phil Jackson when the Lakers wanted him to come back as coach, he tried to do a modified hybrid schedule. You just can't do it with basketball and sports. Chemistry is everything. You're either in and out in or out. You have to respect a person's decision. That's a choice between Kyrie, his family. But the reality is, in or out, I think the playing field is a little different. Unfortunately, the perspective for Aaron Rodgers and the perspective for Kyrie should not be the same. It's the same issue. It's COVID-19, but being mindful that Kyrie made a stand and is paying for it, and Aaron Rodgers got caught and not necessarily paying for it. There's some concern there, and I think it'll be addressed through the players' unions of not just the NBA and the NFL. I think they're all going to have some kind of summit where they deal with that uniformly.
No, and right, because of the union status of the professional sports, that you have to go through collective bargaining to come up with a solution, for this. I mean, COVID-19 has changed sports forever. I mean, we will never have sports in the way we had it prior to the COVID situation. So, I think that players and ownership will have to sit down and will have to come up with ways that this thing can happen. Kyrie, again, I respect Kyrie because, sometimes money is not the be-all, end-all. I mean, sometimes people have moral standards that they don't want to cross. And I hope that they come up with a way that this individual can continue his career. I mean, he's one of the better players in the world. And not to have the opportunity to participate, being that he wouldn't, buy into what everybody's saying. Man, I'm really, full disclosure, I have taken the vaccination, but I've had my concerns about it though, because things are changing. The goalposts have been moved as it pertains to COVID-19. I mean, we were told when the vaccination first came out that you take it, you're good, you won't have any problems. Then we found out, no, you can take it, you can still get it, but you won't die from it. Now we found out you got to take another booster shot. I mean, so they keep moving the goalposts as we continue down this road. So I have my concerns, about that. But I just know a lot of people that have passed away from COVID-19, and that always concerns me because we don't want to lose folk, just because of a virus we have no idea where it comes from.
Absolutely, King. One thing about it, anyone who has been affected by COVID, we hope that you have a speedy recovery. For those that have losses, our deepest condolences on behalf of the King and Mack Show. But I will say this, we have to acknowledge the fact, to your point earlier, we live in a different world, and this world is uncharted, and as we learn more, hopefully, we get to a point where COVID is manageable. I myself am vaccinated, not really sure if I'm going to do the booster. I think you should have got it right in the shot. I'm a Moderna guy, and, we'll just see where the world goes. But for sure, we learned that we can persevere and move forward. We had a chance to have football with no one in the stands. We've done the necessary tweaks to still move forward as a group, but at the end of the day, I think that we have to have a consciousness as well as a sensitivity to people as it relates to this, because we're not going to agree on everything. It's almost like you and I agreeing, which is never going to happen.
Never going to happen, bro.
So
anybody that's in this market and they're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan,
that's right. 13-4.
I have a problem with that. So
respect the 6 rings. That's all I got to say. I forgot you don't have any. 1957 was, I think, the last championship. They didn't have the NFL back then. I think it was the American Football League. I'm just saying, before we all go to glory, and one day it's gonna happen. Maybe y'all will get past the second round of the playoffs. I'm just saying.
Oh no, we in a rebuild, and we've heard that word before, but I have no problem with it. We in a rebuild, and we're going to be okay.
Exactly. How long is a rebuild? I mean, 1 year, 2 years, 10. 10 years is a decade, so you can't call it a rebuild after. No, I'm just saying. But you have fewer first-round draft picks at quarterback than the Cleveland Browns, so you're okay.
No, and again, I mean, we'll get a chance to get a little bit more into our pro football talk, and again, he's made it known that he's a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and
Six-time Super Bowl champion.
and that's fine. That is, and I'm a Detroit, and I'm a Detroit Lion fan. I'm not ashamed to say that. I mean,
No, I think it's great to have a city with a pro football team. I just think you should win more than 2-3 games a year.
There's no doubt about it, though. I mean, you're absolutely right. We have a new GM, new coach.
Love the GM. Love the GM. Big ups to the GM. I like the new GM.
So again, I'm gonna give him a chance to build a team and get us better. It was one more thing that was in the news a lot over the past week, and that was Henry Ruggs from the Las Vegas Raiders was involved in a car accident over the past week, and a young lady was killed in the accident. Her and her dog. Rest in peace. But the guy Henry Ruggs, second-year player from the University of Alabama, he was driving, a sports car at 157 miles per hour, down the highway, and ended up losing control of the car and running into the back of someone and killing them. So right now he's facing some charges. He was released by the Raiders over the last few days. Young man, he's 23 years old, in a real serious problem. Again, it's a lot of families that's involved in this. He's from Montgomery, Alabama, I know that. And a lot of people down in Montgomery are in a bad place because Henry was one of the ones that had made it out. He had become successful, and now he finds himself in trouble. So, what you think about that situation, Matt?
There's something to be said about an avoidable death. We all have our time when it's going to happen, but to be driving a car over 150 miles an hour to the Tintor, her name is Tina Tintor, and her family, our deepest condolences. You just can't co-sign on that, but the reality is there will be due process. I know he's been arraigned, been in court already, and we'll just have to let the legal process play out. It's just my sincere hope that we don't have another situation where herein lies a brother that may have been under the influence of something while driving. I hope it was just him being happy to be in the NFL and flossing his car and just wasn't thinking. I hope it was just driver's ignorance, not influenced by any type of drug, alcohol, narcotic, whatever the case may be. But it's just an unfortunate accident that should not have happened. And but again, I say due process, and we'll see what happens. And I know there's a second Raider that had some form of incident that is not getting as much spotlight. But we just reach out to everybody and just slow it down, folks. Whether you be in L.A., or you be in River Rouge, wherever you may be all over the world, just be careful. You can have a nice car. That doesn't mean you have to test the limits on how far it goes on a highway. There are tracks for that. He's a millionaire. He could have been on a private track and opened it up a little bit. So unfortunately, there's a family that's forever changed because of this. Well, two families, because both will be forever changed because of this.
Definitely, both are affected from it. And again, it just speaks to opportunities that we have, man. We have to take advantage of the opportunities that we have, and be more mindful of the people that's around you. I mean, not just you, it's others that's involved that can be affected by what you do. Like I say, he was a young man just getting started in his career. So now things are going to definitely be changed. You're not in the league anymore. You got to fend for yourself legally. Again, but we'll just let things play its role through the processes and wish the best for Henry to come back and be an advocate, man, for drug driving or speeding or that kind of thing. Because, again, we need to look at these examples that have happened before with folk and just kind of make it better, man, for people moving forward. That's kind of what concerns me. And some other things that's in the news as it pertains to sports and race, and every time race is brought up, it's an interesting conversation. But we know John Gruden, the former head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, have resigned for using some words that he shouldn't have used, and kind of got caught in an email situation. That he was going back and forth with somebody, and he was using derogatory words to describe, the African American community, to describe, the LGBTQ community.
LGBTQIA. That's okay. You can have that one for free. I give you that.
Thank you, brother.
I give you that.
Yes, but he did say some derogatory words toward that group as well. And then with the firestorm behind all of that, he was removed or resigned from his position.
And I think he's done. I don't think he'll be coaching. I think that'll be his legacy, unfortunately. Almost like with baseball and Pete Rose, his instances of bad judgment led to him not only not playing anymore, but not being in the league, being in the Hall of Fame. So,
no, it's unfortunate, man, that we still deal with those type of things in this day and time, but it's still here, and it needs to be exposed. It was an investigation with the Washington football team. It's kind of really how this whole thing evolved. It was about an email trail of the investigation. The NFL will not let all the emails be released, though. So
absolutely, they did a deal between the Washington football team and the NFL. The NFL fined the Washington football team $10 million, and as a part of that agreement, the agreement was for the Washington emails not to be let go. The only reason Gruden's emails were because, of course, he wasn't under that protection because he's with another team. But I will say this, his brother is a former coach of the Redskins, so it's one Gruden involved, not both.
No, definitely. So again, it's just one of the other things that we wanted to touch on with Gruden, and I think Mack is saying that he will never get another chance in the NFL, and I don't know. I mean, one thing I know about the NFL, it's never over. I mean, they give folk chances and second chances and third chances. And fourth chances even, depending on what you bring to the table, because we know sports is big business, man, and that's really what it's about. But we'll wait and see how he do. He took whatever money that they owed him, and he went away quietly. He haven't heard anything from John Gruden publicly about the situation, and he just hopes that it blows over, and he may get a chance to either commentate or be in the league again. I mean, I'm not sure how that's going to play out. It's just unfortunate that we're still having to, deal with folk using derogatory language as it pertains to some other folks in the community.
Let me ask you, if Gruden wanted to call into the show, would you take it?
Oh, sure, I would. Definitely. Okay. I would want to hear his side of his point of view and kind of what happened. Definitely, I would take that call.
It's only you, me, and a few million people, so Ron, we just extend that invitation. If Coach Gruden wants to call in to the King and Mack show, there's an open invitation. How about that?
Yeah, if anybody knows John Gruden, let him know that we would love to have him and love to get his point of view on this whole situation. We're going to get a little bit into some local college sports. We got two Big Ten teams that's in our area, one being the University of Michigan, the other being Michigan State University. They had the opportunity of playing each other last week, and Michigan State was victorious over the University of Michigan. Both teams are 8-1. Unfortunately, on yesterday, Purdue University beat Michigan State.
You're being very nice.
To give them their first loss.
You're being very, very nice.
And I mean, again, it was a tough place to play, man. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been down to West Lafayette, Indiana, to a Purdue game. But it's a very tough place to play, coming off an emotional victory over Michigan, and they were outplayed for sure yesterday.
Absolutely. And Michigan took it out on Indiana yesterday because you could tell they had that same footprint in certain areas regarding the comeback, the game after. So, two great teams, one great loss, a piece from them, and I think that when it's all said and done, those losses will play a role in the playoffs. We'll see how that all pans out. But I find it ironic that Michigan State loses the game right after the big game with Michigan. So it's just kind of interesting how things play out.
And it is. And like I said, both teams are currently 8-1. They are still involved in the chase for the Big Ten championship. 3 games remain for both teams. They both have to play that team down in Columbus, Ohio State University, over the next few weeks, and we'll find out who will be the champion of the Big Ten, and that person probably will be within that playoff that Mack was talking about, that college playoff, the 14 playoff that we do every year. Normally a Big Ten team is part of that. Has been Ohio State over the last several years, but Michigan State, they are in the hunt for it, and we wish both well, man, over these next few weeks, and we look to have Coach Harbaugh on, as well as Coach Tucker on the King and Mack Sports Show.
Absolutely.
In the near future.
Absolutely. The thing I find interesting is the Ohio State-Michigan game is Michigan's last home game of the year. And if you didn't need any more pressure for the University of Michigan Wolverines, go blue, that is enough for your last game to be the biggest game of the year, and go green, because Coach Tucker, he's doing a lot of things too. Coach Tucker beating University of Michigan for a second time in a row. Michigan State has proven that they are worthy of national recognition and moving well. So great football going on here in the state of Michigan, and we do welcome the opportunity to interview both coaches or members of the coaching staff to the King of Mack Show. So that's going to be an exciting conversation.
Oh, definitely. And again, we want to talk a little bit, too, about one of the other schools that's in Michigan that's nationally ranked. This is Division II school, the Ferris State Bulldogs, undefeated. Tony Anise is the head coach for Ferris State. But right now, they're the Division II #1 team in the country. So we wishing those guys well. I mean, they do a lot of recruiting in this metropolitan Detroit area. So we got a lot of the players are from in and around here, Detroit and Southfield and West Bloomfield and others. So Tony Anise been doing a great job up at Ferris State University. We are reaching out to his sports information director to get Coach Anise on our show and talk a little bit about Division II football, because it get overplayed, Division II, because we always focus on the larger schools, the Power 5 conference schools, but it's a lot of good football in Division II, man. More importantly, it's a lot of scholarship opportunity, a lot of chances for young people, man, to educate themselves through sport.
Absolutely.
And Tony Anise does a fine job, like I said, recruiting this area and getting young people up into that beautiful campus they have.
And one of the interesting things, and I can speak a little bit about Ferris State, because my fiance Leslie is a Ferris State graduate.
That's right.
Ferris State has one of the preeminent golf turf programs in the country. So when you think you're man enough to play some golf with me, we'll go up to Ferris State and hit a few. But Ferris State does play Wayne State November 13th, so it'll be interesting to see how that works out. They beat Davenport 50-14, so they remind me a lot of the University of Cincinnati. They just don't play. They handle that business. So it'd be interesting to see them and how things go well. And like you said, there are a lot of great players that are going to Detroit and seeing a different part of the world, so to speak, going up to Ferris and representing very well.
So, yeah, is that Wayne State? Is that a home game for Wayne State, or is that a home game for Ferris? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I'll have to check. I'll look it up, and we'll post that information. We probably need to go to that game.
Oh, definitely we will. We'll talk about the game on our next show next Sunday. I mean, we got a lot of things that we're planning to do with the show, but next Sunday. As well, we're doing a watch party, right? We're doing a watch party. Where we're doing it at, Mack?
We're going to be at Bookies on Cass and Columbia West, right there on the corner. We're inviting everybody to come out and be with us. We want to meet you, say hi, get one of these great King and Mack shirts, one of the hoodies. We've got stuff going on. So we just want to have a good time and watch my beloved six-time Super Bowl champion Pittsburgh Steelers play the Lions.
So yeah, the game is going to be in Pittsburgh, but we're going to be at Bookies watching the game, talking some stuff. I mean, I'm gonna have on my Lion gear. I ain't scared. We're gonna be down there, and we're gonna see. We go. That's gonna one of our victories. Gonna be over the Steelers.
No. Let's be very clear. If you get a victory, you got to get one first. You said one of your victories. You got to get one first.
That's right.
The reality is we just want people to come out and have a good time. And let's be very clear. I love the city of Detroit. I think it's one of God's greatest gifts to the world. I just think that we can do better. We can do better. Thank you very much. I think we can just do better and deserve better as a team. I just think that it's not too much to ask to not just lose every doggone game. I think we have a great GM, and I just think that, rebuild and decade are antonyms, not synonyms. So, but with that being said, I won't hold it against you. I feel free to let you know that the Pittsburgh Steelers will be victorious, as they have the past 3 games in a row, and they will be today. So, I mean, it's okay. I won't hold it against you, and I'll even bring a handkerchief or 2 for you after
Well, again, we want to invite everybody out, though, to Bookies next Sunday, 1 o'clock, to watch the game with us and be part of the King and Mack sports show.
And this is part of my birthday experience. My birthday is actually November 28th, but as life would have it, the Lions happen to be playing my beloved 6-time Super Bowl. Boy, it gets hard to say that after 6 Super Bowls. That's a lot. But in any case, it just so happened that that's that weekend leading up to it. So we just wanted to celebrate that weekend and have that opportunity to come out. OG Salas will be there, the person that did our intro music. Our team will be there, so we're just looking forward to having a good time. I want everybody to come out and have a safe and a responsible experience with us.
Yeah, we invite Lions fans as well as Steelers fans. I mean, we got a lot of Steelers fans in this area that I know, and I'm going to invite them out as well. So, we want to come out, have a good time. I think Max said the hors d'oeuvres are on him.
I think you said they were on you.
Oh, okay. One of us is on.
Well, one thing is for sure, Bookies takes credit cards, so whatever you want to get, you can make sure you get it. But we want everybody to come out. We want to meet everybody. We want to have a great time. November is a phenomenal month. It's my birthday month, so we just want everybody to come out and hang out with us. And the first of many opportunities, we look forward to doing a lot of things. There's no other person in the world I would like to have this radio experience with you, King. You, my guy. You're usually wrong, but you're still my guy. So I'm looking forward to a long and fruitful radio legacy with you, brother. But just know y'all gonna get smacked. So it's okay.
No, we do thank everybody for this opportunity of having a podcast. Something we talked about for a little while, and we made it happen. Through the assistance of Miles Dixon and his crew. We got a beautiful facility here, man. And if you're ever interested in doing a podcast, let's look up Miles, man. Give Miles a call and come out and check it out, man. Because this is great, and we can always get you on our show just to get a feel for how it all works out, man. But it's a beautiful facility.
Absolutely,
state of the art, top notch, and we're happy to be here. We wanted to talk just a little bit about HBCU football.
That's right, baby.
People don't talk about black college football, man, and black college sports. So we just wanted to touch on that. We're going to touch on it each and every week. We know Jackson State is one of the preeminent teams in the SWAC conference. They're leading the West. Is it the West or the East? They leading one of the conferences, undefeated. Everybody know Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, is the head coach at Jackson State University. Shout out to all the Jackson State alumni that's listening, that's in this area as well. We got a lot of Metro Detroiters who graduated from the Jackson State University. They are, again, one of the top teams in the SWAC conference, and they're leading the way. Some other teams, Prairie View, A&M is doing well. And Alcorn State always has a good program. I know a lot of folk that's from Alcorn, but we want to be the vessel to get that information out. I mean, we got a lot of alumni that's in and around here, and we want to get y'all kudos as it pertains to collegiate sports.
Absolutely, and the beautiful thing about the HBCUs is and I'm a HBCU graduate myself. I'm a Wilberforce graduate, which means Central State's my football team. But it's just great to see these phenomenal universities, these coaches. Shout outs from the show to Coach Prime. I hope he recovers well. I had read he had recently had some surgery, and I hope he has a speedy recovery. But it's just a lot of great football being played in the HBCUs, and we want to be part of that movement to give those players even more exposure to the bigger stages and the bigger arenas, and looking forward to having some of those coaches and those people involved with it an opportunity to have that spotlight and be on the show. So
definitely, man. We want to go on the road, man, and go to some of these homecomings, man. You know, if you ever been to a black college homecoming, it's nothing like it. It's they go on another level. I mean, they have a good time, man.
Absolutely. There's nothing like, a HBCU get together is a family reunion of a lot of different sorts. So I look forward to those opportunities as well.
Yeah, no, it's culture, man, and again. We've sent a lot of young people to HBCUs to play sports over the last several years. And again, we want to shout those folk out, and we want to make them a part of our show and what we do. So we will have a segment that deals with historical black colleges and universities, their sports programs. So definitely have that going. Looking forward to all of that. Want to kind of get it back home, man, and touch the base with our hometown basketball team. As basketball season is here too, got some famous people that are in and involved around Detroit Piston basketball. I always think about John Mason, one of my mentors, one of the people who I've worked with over the years. Man, Mason is doing great things with the Detroit Pistons, to the fact that he's been doing some national type things from being the announcer of Detroit Pistons. So, major shout out to Mason.
Mason's that guy.
Yeah, he does a great job. But the Detroit Pistons, we started the season. We're one win so far, but again, it's early in the season. We got the Magic that we beat. I remember we did that last week, but some games are coming up, and I think that Cade Cunningham, our number one draft pick, shout out to Cade. He's coming into rounding into shape. He was injured during the preseason. He had twisted his ankle early on in training camp, and finally got himself back on the court and back, getting his rhythm playing. So I think Cade is going to be good for us. He was a big pick. We had a party on draft day, basketball draft day, and it went well. We want to thank all the people that came out for that as we kicked off the King and Mack sports show during that event. But yeah, Cade Cunningham is here. A lot of teams are doing well. I see Miami Heat in the East are doing very, very well. They got a quality team, great coach. And some other teams, the Brooklyn Nets with with James Harden, with Kevin Durant, and those guys, they're doing well in the East. In the West, we see Golden State. It looks like they're taking their place back at the top of the chain as being one of the better teams in the West. Phoenix Suns are doing very well in the West. Lakers not so much, man. I don't know. I know LeBron is dealing with some injuries right now, and so he hasn't played over the last couple of days. But I think the Lakers will be right there in the end as well. What you think about the basketball season just kicking off, Matt?
I think that the Pistons did the right thing. I've got to be honest with you. I really thought the Pistons were going to trade that pick. I know they were entertaining some calls from Houston and another team across the league, but I'm glad they picked him. I like his spirit. I'm a big fan of our coach. I liked what he did in Toronto, so now that he's here, I think he's finally got the tools that he needs. I'm excited about the league. And, to me, the Lakers are a lot like the Patriots. They just need to get into the playoffs. They don't really worry about the schedule. They play what they need to do, and when it's time to show up, they show up. I like the athleticism. There used to be a power game. Now it's a shooter's game. So I like how we've got the versatility in the league, and I think the Pistons are going to do well, and I think it's going to be an exciting season. My only concern is I'm hoping that we don't have a COVID-affected season where we have to take people out of the stands. I'm hoping we don't have falsehoods regarding testing and things of that nature, so that we have a real healthy, robust season. But I like how we've got these younger players getting that time to shine, and I think it's going to be I don't think you're going to have anybody that's really running away with it. I think there's enough parity throughout the NBA where we're just going to have a lot of good games that, of course, you're going to pick wrong and I'll pick correctly. So, it'll be a great season.
No, it should be an entertaining season, no doubt. I think we got a lot of great players in the NBA, currently, and I think it's going to be interesting how it all plays out. Years ago, it used to be one or two or three teams that were going to win the championship, and that was it. But now, I think it's more wide open. I think it's more opportunity for teams to step up and play. So I'm looking forward to this season. Looking forward to getting down and seeing some Piston games and getting some of the Piston players on the King and Mack Sports Show as well to kind of talk about different things that they face in the NBA. We want to be cutting edge as far as getting the background of what's going on and what's the life of a NBA player.
Absolutely.
Kind of things that they have to deal with, from a practice standpoint. I don't think people really understand the travel that's involved in playing professional sports, man. I mean, these guys are up and down on planes, man, 2 or 3 days a week. So I mean, it's taxing on your body, and it's taxing mentally even to make those that kind of travel. But I mean, that's some of the things that I would like to talk to some of the NBA players about, and kind of how they deal with being in the community and doing things in the community. So we want to do those things. Again, we want to be a little bit different than the cookie cutter. The cookie cutter shows that's out here, man. We don't get a lot of representation, especially from African American perspective, as it pertains to sports, and we play a major role in sports, but I just don't think we had the opportunity to get our point of view out, and that was one of the reasons why we wanted to start this podcast and kind of do some things a little bit different and try to bring some people to the table that don't get a chance to talk and provide the information. And we're going to be doing some high school stuff and some youth sports stuff and all that, because again, we want to be listener friendly. We want to be something that the public can look to get information and to be a part of. This is a community show.
Absolutely. Fan-centric radio, for lack of a better word, as well as podcasting. I'm excited that we're going to be in a lot of different formats. I like that it's a lot of fun, but most importantly, I like that there is a resource option there for people to ask questions. Will be available on all media platforms, so people can ask questions, and we can bring those questions up on the show. And big ups to our guy Rick, the intern, who actually wrote it down that this would be a show that it would happen, and I think the date was June 23rd, where he wrote it down and said the King and Mack show. So it is in existence. So big ups to you, Big Rick the intern. So, and you'll hear from him at a later time. So.
Oh yeah, he's part of the team, and he does a lot for us. And we're going to grow the team.
Absolutely.
Got other folk that's coming in and being a part of what we're doing. I mean, this is a family atmosphere. Even though me and Mac we disagree on most things. I mean,
Absolutely.
He's from Memphis, Tennessee, for one thing. So I don't know.
We went there.
I don't know what they know down there, but up here we know something different. So this is Detroit, man. I'm a Detroit, Michigan guy, born and raised.
That's all right. My pops was from the East Side. Rest in peace.
There you go.
Cass graduate 1958. So
there you go.
I'm 50%. I'm 50% D-Town. If D-Town claims me, I claim it. But it's all love. But I mean, it's not my fault. You're wrong most of the time.
That's part of it.
I understand.
And as we get into that, we want to talk a little pro sports, man. We're gonna pick some games on Sundays as well. We're gonna find 6 games that we can pick with all the online.
Let's go 7. Let's do 7.
7 games. Okay.
Somebody else does 6 games. We're gonna do 7. We'll give you 1+.
We'll give you 7 games, but no, seriously, that it's a lot of online betting is going on in the Michigan market. We got all the casinos have now become online bettors, and people are using their phones to place bets. So I mean, we always want to give out good information on Sunday games, and we will do that consistently over the time that we're on the program. Pro football has reached this halfway mark. We 8 weeks in. Unfortunately, my team is 0-8, but we ain't gonna concern ourselves with that.
No, we're not gonna worry about that.
We got 9 more games to go. So,
That's right.
and we're gonna take them one at a time. But it's been some good things that's going on in the National Football League over these first 8 weeks of the season. Currently, we have no undefeated teams right now, but we do have several one-loss teams, and Green Bay Packers being one, and Arizona Cardinals being another. The Los Angeles Rams, unfortunately, with Matthew Stafford, is another team that only has one loss as well. So, it's going to be interesting how the rest of the season play out. Each and every week we will touch on, the Pro Football League and kind of what's going on with it. And, just kind of looking forward to seeing how this season turns out. I know Mack has made some predictions as far as Super Bowl and that kind of thing. And can you remind us, what was your Super Bowl prediction?
My Super Bowl prediction is, now I said it first, the L.A. Rams will represent the NFC. And the Pittsburgh Steelers will represent the AFC.
Okay, so
and that's a rematch, by the way.
We got that written down as
that's
well.
Yeah.
I think I said Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, you did.
Will be one of the representatives from the NFC, and then from the AFC. I like the Los Angeles Chargers. I think because the game is in L.A. We do know that. So Super Bowl will be in L.A. And
Come on.
I'm going to give the Chargers the inside road.
Stop it.
To the AFC Championship.
Do you really believe that?
I do. I've watched a lot of the teams play. And
really?
Yeah, right now.
Were you watching last week?
Right now, yes.
Jesus Christ.
I think the Chargers have a very good chance to make the Super Bowl.
Well, I love you in spite of you, bro. That's all I can say.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not against the Steelers. I like Mike Tomlin a lot, the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I think their quarterback has past its prime, and he's going to be ineffective as we move forward to those colder games that's coming up.
Is that before or after the 3-game win streak? I'm just a little curious.
Well, it's after the 3 game. I mean, I think they had a 3-game losing streak before that.
Yeah, we lost a couple, but I mean, you got to win one before you can talk to somebody. Let's put this in perspective. The New York Jets have a better record than the than the Detroit Lions. That's all I'm saying.
I know. I mean, we lost a couple of tough ball games that we probably should have won, but I mean, you are what your records say. I mean, that's what they always told me.
Absolutely.
You who your records say you are, and right now we're 0 wins. So it's
nothing
not a
but
lot
upside.
I can talk about.
Nothing but upside. Nothing but upside.
So Mac, we're gonna get into these games, man, real quickly, and you got a point of view you can always give it as well. But
Absolutely.
game number 1 is the Green Bay Packers facing the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City is a favorite by 7 points, so that says Green Bay is +7 when the game starts.
Right.
What side are you on that?
I think KC will do it. I don't think it'll be by 7. I think it'll be by a field goal, because unfortunately, there's something wrong with KC, and even though Aaron Rodgers is not playing, that's still a unit. Some teams you're playing, 2 or 3 players and a couple other people that make up the team. The Packers actually play as a team, and they have a great coaching staff. So I agree. I think KC's going to win, but I think it's more like 3 than more like 7. I think defense is going to play a role. They just got Ingram from the Steelers, and that hurt to say that, but he just got traded over. Melvin Ingram just got traded to the Chiefs, so the Chiefs are going to take care of it. It'll be interesting to see what Hurts does as the backup filling in for Aaron Rodgers, but I actually think he's going to be out longer than just a week. I think there's going to be an upcoming suspension that's going to have him out longer than a lot of people think, maybe 2-3 weeks. But I think he'll be out for a minute. But I give it to KC.
Okay, so I agree. So you're really saying you're taking Green Bay in the points though, because that means Green Bay will win. Will not lose by more than 7 points.
Absolutely. You did say that, and thank you for tutoring me on the one thing you're actually better than me at is this point thing. But it's okay.
That's fine. So, and I have to agree though. I think it's going to be a very close game, and I'm going to take the points in Green Bay. Looking forward to seeing Jordan Love as the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. He is the future of that organization, and I do have to, believe it or not, agree with Mack that Rodgers may be out for a few weeks as opposed to just 1 week. This thing got to play itself out. Again, the league feels like it's been bamboozled by Aaron Rodgers by not telling the truth about the vaccination.
Absolutely.
So I think they're gonna set an example by suspending Aaron Rodgers for a couple more games.
And Rodgers is losing sponsors already. And let me apologize. I made a mistake of 2 African-American quarterbacks, which is becoming a greater percentage. I said Hurts, and Hurts plays for another team. But Jordan Love is going to have to prove he's worthy. But I'm just big ups to brothers playing quarterback, because as we all know, there used to be a time where African-American quarterbacks were turned into wide receivers, which is why Warren Moon ended up in the CFL for the better part of his playing days. So I apologize for one of the few mistakes I'll ever make sitting next to you about calling players on the wrong teams.
No, definitely. We have more African-American quarterbacks in the National Football League than we ever had.
Absolutely. And they're drafted as quarterbacks, and I think that's great as opposed to converted to other positions.
So in this first game, we're both taking Green Bay plus the points, and look forward to seeing the outcome of that.
Sure.
The second game we're looking at today, though, is the Cleveland Browns versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Right up in Cincinnati, it's going to be a great game. Cincinnati is favored by 2.5 points, so that means that they have to beat Cleveland by more than 2.5 What do you think about that one, man?
Oh, they're definitely going to beat them more than 2.5. Odell Beckham was waived by the Browns earlier this week. I think there's some indecisiveness about what the Browns' identity. They've got a great running game. They've got a perennial quarterback, but sometimes they can't always put it together. And they've got a lot of injuries too, and I think some are worse than what we've been led to believe. So I think the Bengals will win, but I think they'll win by more than what's predicted. So I think that's going to be probably Bengals winning by 7 to 10 points. I think they're going to really take care of some things because Cincinnati's together, and I think that loss with the kicking when they played Green Bay, I think that gives them a chip on their shoulder. I just want to make sure that somebody loses by a lot because I need the points for my Steelers.
No doubt about it. No, Cincinnati is at home, and I think they will cover that 2.5. So if you're in the betting business, I would take that Cincinnati Bengals all day today. Thirdly, we're looking at the Minnesota Vikings versus the Baltimore Ravens. Another one of your teams that's in your division.
Absolutely. You never know who you're playing when you play the Minnesota Vikings. Sometimes they play like they've got it all together and all cylinders going. And sometimes they play like you just don't know where they came from. So
the Ravens are a 6-point favorites. Don't just look that out. So.
Yeah, I think that's safe. I think they'll take care of it by 6.
Ravens by 6. I'm going to the other side. I'm going to take the Vikings today. I think the points and the Vikings, they had a tough loss last week, and I think they're going to bounce back. So I'm going to take the Vikings plus that 6 points today.
I think you've got the wrong purple in that game, but it's okay.
Okay. Eagles, Chargers. Chargers are a favorite, my Super Bowl pick, by 1.5 against the Philadelphia Eagles.
I can't believe you think the Chargers. I'm so glad it's on tape. But anyway, the Chargers are going to take that. The Eagles that play this week aren't the Eagles that played your Lions. So the Chargers will take care of the business.
Chargers take care of it. I'm Chargers. I pick Chargers, and I'm going to stay Chargers. The Chargers will beat Philadelphia.
LaDainian coming out of retirement? Is that what's happening?
Handily. Okay.
Okay.
Cardinals versus the 49ers. Arizona Cardinals versus the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco is favored by 3.5.
I don't see it. I don't see San Francisco beating the Cardinals. The Cardinals had a game where things didn't just quite work out right. I think that Murray's going to handle that business, and the Cardinals will win.
Yeah, part of the point spread in this particular game is not knowing if Kyler Murray is going to play. He had an ankle injury coming out of the last game, but he said he's practiced this week, so he more than likely will play. And I'm going to take the Cardinals as well. I like Cardinals. I like what they're doing. I like the.
So you're going to agree with me? That's what you're saying.
No, another one of the African American quarterbacks that's in the league, and I think he's doing a phenomenal job. Just got to keep the kid healthy. All right, now this is a big one, man. This is one that's the Monday night game this particular week. Chicago Bears versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
How about that?
Steelers are favored by 6.5.
Say it again.
And I already know where you land.
Wow. We know my Steelers are going to take care of business. We know Chicago's not really that much different than what they've been, in weeks past. So the Steelers are on a roll. They're 3 games in a row, and I did say it first. The Steelers will be no less than 13-4. The wave of 11 games that we had last year, which came early, now comes later. So Big Ben will handle this thing, and as usual, I'll be right. So Steelers win.
Steelers win. Yeah. Okay. I got that down. I'm taking the Bears, man. Anybody
you taking them just to be spiteful.
Anybody that Steelers is playing, I'm taking the other team.
You trust me. Man, there is a word for it.
Trust me on that.
Hater. Hater. Thank you very much.
No, I like the Bears in this one with the points now. I mean, I'm not saying head to head, but with the points, I'm going to take Chicago. to take that 6 points and keep it close and win with the spread. So
family, really, okay.
I don't know. We're gonna have a lot to talk about next week because we're gonna preview that Pittsburgh Steelers Detroit Lion game on Sunday. So we're gonna talk a lot about that as well. We got a few more minutes though, Mack. Give me some information that you want to get out and reiterate and talk about. If anything that's on your heart, let's get it out.
Absolutely. First and foremost, ironically, our show starts on Sunday. I just want to thank God for this opportunity to be with you. I look forward to a long and fruitful relationship. There's something to be said about just doing it. Nike coined that phrase a long time ago, and I'm just glad to be here on this platform and look forward to a phenomenal run. And I think that my vision is our run being just like some of the great runs in broadcast history, TV, radio, podcasts, everything. So I'm glad to be here with you, brother, and I love you, man.
I love you too, bro. I mean, it's going to be exciting, man. I mean, it's good. It's good to have a platform where we can get information out and we can talk sports and have fun and bring on guests, sponsors and others that will be a part of this show. Again, we said this is a family program and we're going to keep it as such. But we look forward to being here and being here every week with you guys and giving out information and hope that you follow us and look up our website because we are thekingandmack.com. We're going to be a lot of information is going to be on there as well. So look forward to having this every Sunday, and Sunday is a great day for sports because definitely you get to see what happened over the weekend, and it leads you right into football Sunday. We're going to be here Super Bowl Sunday. Matter of fact, we're going to be right here.
That's right.
Super Bowl Sunday. We're going to preview the Super Bowl and all that good stuff. So look forward to being here again with you guys and giving out good information and learning. I mean, we learning as well as we go, This is exciting time for us. It's an exciting time for the program, and we're going to grow it. I mean, I promise you that we're going to get better at what we do as we keep doing this thing. Ain't that right, Mike?
Absolutely. I think about Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon. You can choose which one you are. I know which one I am. So in any case, it's going to be a great run that will not just birth our program.
Here's Johnny.
It won't just birth our program, but we look forward to helping other entities birth their visions as well. So
definitely, we want to be a resource. Again, as I said before, we want to bring people to the table that have ideas and want to look for a platform to do their podcast. I mean, it's a lot of folk in this area that's doing it, but there's nobody better to me than Miles Dixon and his team is doing it. This is a very, very professional layout, very, very professional place. I've been to plenty of interviews and podcasts over the years, and this is the best that I've seen, and again, we're excited to be here. We are
absolutely no better place to be in the center of it all, Southfield, Michigan. So, big ups to Southfield and everybody. And hey, they even make you look good. So, I mean, I know it's a winning combination.
You know that. I mean, if they can make me look good, they can make you look good. So that's an invitation, and we're going to always talk about that as well because it's a lot of good things that need to be out here to our community. Black media is not as prevalent as it should be, and we want to keep growing this thing, man.
Absolutely.
We're toward the end of it, and we want to again thank everybody for our first show, and we look forward to seeing you guys next Sunday, 11 a.m. We're going to have a lot of things that we're going to talk about.
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get it. It's the king and the Mack, picking the players, reloaded and checking the stats. Straight from the D, straight from the tracks. Sports, we into all that. Talking teams like barbershop way back in the day, yeah. Updates every morning, yeah, we catching them plays.